Still on economic news, Treasurer Chalmers is wary of the impact rate rises are having on consumer spending. My colleague Cameron Radden is live in the studio. How will today's decision factor into the broader budget deliberations?
Yeah, Kieran is talking to about this idea of keeping all the balls in the air, if you like, for Jim Chalmers, talking about the short-term pressures of inflation and then the longer-term pressures when it comes to combating sluggish growth and spending over the future years where that government spending will pick up. The Treasurer, of course, wary not to tell the Independent Reserve Bank what to do, but noting today explicitly that he's aware that these rate rises, 13 in the space of 2 years, are being felt around the kitchen table and are putting pressure on family budgets. He's already noted, the Treasurer, that this won't be a slash and burn budget. There's not going to be drastic spending cuts in this budget, and it will include key cost of living relief measures, including, for example, the cost of living tax cuts, and as well as potentially, we've just heard, more additional energy rebates as well. But the Treasurer today, a week out from the federal budget, wary that those 13 rate rises in 2 years are being felt, and perhaps a wink and a nod that another rate rise may not be welcome.
I think everybody would acknowledge that the rate rises in the system are putting a lot of people under pressure. They are one of the reasons, but not the only reason, why our economy, and particularly consumption in our economy, has slowed considerably. You can see that we are doing our bit, and the Reserve Bank will take its decisions independently.
The Treasurer welcoming today an improvement in the government's gross debt position, which will be locked in for next week's budget. It is bringing down in comparison to the pre-election projections. So this is what was forecast before that very first rate rise 2 years ago, that it would be over $1 trillion. Gross debt now expected to peak 10% lower at just over $900 billion, Kieran.
And Cam, the government has unveiled its early childhood strategy. It's been a focus of them, though, to be fair, for the first couple of years too, this broader issue.
It certainly has, through the cheaper childcare reforms, for example. But today, the government unveiling its early years strategy. This is a 10-year roadmap with a key goal of bringing together many of the different policies to address early childhood education, childcare, and ensuring that young Australians, the youngest of Australians, have the best start in life possible. It's been put together by a 14-member panel, including Emma Watkins, probably better known as Emma Wiggle, formerly the Yellow Wiggle, and it will be looking at various ways of collaborating different approaches around childcare, around early education, to give children the best start in life. A key part of this is going to be the creation of a new parents and carers group, which will be made up of 20 different people, including parents and carers, to guide the government on new policies and to give feedback on different approaches. This will be put into action later in the year when the government unveils its first action plan, which will put practical steps to this strategy.
We know that if we get those first 5 years, those critical first 5 years right, we can make a huge difference to a child's life.
So a 10-year roadmap, Kieran, 3 action plans over the course of that decade period. The first one out a little bit later this year.
Cam, thanks. Talk to you soon.